Well, we're working on a couple of projects here involving some thick cherry wood, and we have to do some rip cutting right now. And this is the blade that I've had on the saw. I've owned this blade for a long time. As you can see, I've sent it out for sharpening before. That's why my name is engraved in here. But it's not cutting so well anymore. And this wood is thick, cherry is hardwood, so it's time for another blade. And I'm going to be putting on this blade. I've used this sort before, and it's kind of amazing. At first, it doesn't look like a rip cutting blade. This is a typical rip cutting blade. It has fewer teeth than this blade, and then there's these deep gullets which capture the sawdust and give it a chance to fall out of the cut when the teeth go down through the wood. This also has anti-kickback pawls behind each tooth, which stops the tooth from taking too big of a bite that can lead to a kickback in the lumber. Now, this is a unique blade. I've never seen anything like this other than Freud's design. They call it a fusion blade, and it happens to be terrific at cross-cutting as well as ripping, which is not usually a combination you see in saw blades. One of the reasons it does that is because each tooth comes up to quite a point. There's a sharp angle there, and more of a pointy point than you usually see on saw blades. And I know from using these blades before that they really do cross-cut and rip remarkably well. So this is a fresh one. It has never been resharpened. I'm going to put it into the saw, and then you can see what kind of a job it does. Now, of course, when you're installing a blade in a saw, you have to make sure the teeth point forward and the power is shut off at the panel as well. There's nothing much else to it, really. The blade is raised, too, so I can get at the arbor easily. A wrench on the back side, and wrench goes on here. You don't have to go crazy tightening it, just good and firm, and then ready to put the throat plate back in and ready to start cutting. Now here you see the rip cut actually happening. We've lifted the guard out of place just so you could see what's going on. It's hard to tell just by looking at the video, but this cut doesn't take a whole lot of pressure, even though we're dealing with some 2-inch thick cherry. It's quite an easy cut. It's at least as easy as any dedicated ripping blade. So here's the cut with that fusion blade. There's a very slight amount of blade mark there, but it's surprisingly smooth for a blade that rips so easily. In fact, this is smooth enough. I know from experience it's smooth enough that you could edge glue right on it without jointing. We're going to use a little bit of a different technique here with these parts because we do have to do some laminations, and I'll show you that in another video. It's using a thickness planer to machine these edges, but that's for another video. Thanks for watching. Click here to join the thousands of people who get the Bailey Line Road hands-on how-to newsletter for free every Saturday morning.